boot you to this menu here, okay? Now this is the boot me menu. This is the menu that you need to make a NAND backup, which a NAND backup is the physical memory, the physical system itself. So if anything were to happen and your system were to get damaged, you can recover it. You can bring it back to factory settings. So we're going to do a NAND backup now, okay? It's very simple, but you cannot use a Wii remote. You have two options. You either use the buttons on the system itself. The power button makes it go right, and the reset button is select, or you can use a GameCube controller. Okay, I grabbed my GameCube controller, but again, if you don't have one, power button will make you move right, and reset will select. So now I'm going to go right here to the settings option. Now right here, this first option, green SD. This is making a NAND backup to your SD card, so you need to make sure you have an SD card in, and I believe it's about 1.5 gigabytes, so you need to make sure you have at least that amount of space, okay? So now you want to just click it, and it will automatically start making a NAND backup, okay? Now if you see any of the little black blocks that say bad block, don't worry, it will repair it on its way around. So this takes about 10 or 15 minutes. It's going to make an entire NAND backup, and then when it's done, it'll go back around again, and it's going to verify that it's a good backup. And then when it's done, I'll be back to show you what to do from there. So thank you so much. Verification process here, and as you can see, there are a couple of bad blocks that it's fixing up here right now. Just about done. Alright, and it says it's all done. Press any button to exit. Okay, now I'm going to go over on the computer. I'm going to show you what files it made, and you need to make a backup copy of them. I would recommend maybe burning one to a disk and putting one on an external hard drive somewhere safe, because if something happens to your Wii, this is the only way you'll be able to recover it, okay? So now if something ever happens and you ever need to recover it, you just simply put the files back on the SD card. You come here to this menu, so let's go back. Let's see if it'll let me go back. Oh, you got to go over here to this. So you would go back into here again. You go settings, and you select this one. This one will recover. This one will put the files back onto your system and put it back to the way it is exactly right now. So next video, I'm going to meet you over on the computer, and I will show you what files it made and how to back them up. So thank you so much for watching. Files that the backup made are right here, nan.bin and keys.bin. So you want to make sure you back this up in a couple of places. I'm going to put it on my desktop. It'd be a good idea to maybe burn a copy on a CD, and maybe even email yourself the files, so that if something ever happens to your computer, you still have those backup files, because that's the only way you'll be able to recover your system if something happens. Okay, and you can either leave the files on there, or if you have a very small card and you want to save space, you can delete them off. I'm going to delete mine off. Okay, now another thing you want to do while you're on here, I have duplicate folders, so I'm just going to delete one, but you should only have the one that says boot me right here. Now if you don't rename this, every single time you start up your Wii, it's going to start into that boot me menu. You know, the one you have to use the buttons on the console to do. So what, you just rename it to anything that's not just straight boot me. I just do boot me 1. And then that way, if you ever need to use it again, so say something happens to your system and you need to recover your system, you need to put those NAND and bin files back on here, and then you come back in and you rename it. You just take the 1 off, okay? But if you leave it that way, it's going to boot into boot me every single time you turn on your system. So I'm going to put the 1 back on there. And we always want to make sure we safely eject our cards so we don't corrupt our cards. And we'll go put it back in the Wii.